Here are 6 common mistakes that working parents make when trying to get rid of these. Now, as somebody who's considered a working parent myself, I see these all the time from not only people that are just like me, but my clients who start with me that have trouble with losing weight. The first thing is they start by trying to lose weight fast. And that might sound counterproductive, but hear me out. When you're trying to lose weight, what do? Well, you cut carbohydrates, you avoid eating foods you like, only drink water, do fasted cardio, all these sorts of things that add extra time and restriction when trying to lose weight. And that might be cool, but the reality is that this is what happens, is you'll lose weight fairly quick in the beginning. Your weight will be like, oh my gosh, I'm down 8 pounds this week, or 6 pounds, or 4, whatever it is, and then it starts to level off. Because when you get rid of, let's say, all carbohydrates, you also get rid of a lot of water. When you don't drink late at night, you're not as inflamed. When you get rid of all snacks, you're not eating as many calories from carbohydrates. I guarantee you're not snacking on, I don't know, chicken breast and kale. And so what's actually happening is you're not actually losing any more fat than you would have had you not done those things. But instead, you hit the instant gratification button, want to feel good, and so you do a bunch of things, but then you burn out because the expectation is, I'm going to be losing weight like this forever. And when you start losing weight at a very gradual pace, like you should be, we start throwing in the towel thinking something's broken, or worse, do even more drastic shit to try to lose weight. You start sticking yourself with things, you start, I don't know, taking sketchy supplements or whatever, and it's just not worth it. Instead, what you want to do is you want to focus on losing fat efficiently. Meaning there's a cross-section between what you want to do and what you're capable of. Like if I had it my way, I would lose a pound of fat a day, but I'm not capable of burning 3,500 calories plus the amount of food that I eat every single day to lose the 15 pounds I want to lose. So I have to adjust what I'm capable of down to a place that's manageable. And if you're not capable of running 6 miles every single day to burn 600, 700 calories, so that you can eat an extra cheeseburger every day, then maybe you just got to get rid of the cheeseburger instead of running the 6 or 7 miles. And the cheeseburger is just an antidote, okay? I'm an anecdote. It's not me just saying you're eating cheeseburgers, okay? Just using it as an example, okay? But losing fat efficiently, that might be like going for a walk 2 times a day for 15 minutes. It might be tracking your macros. It might be eating more protein. There's so many things you could do. The second mistake I see people making is falling for this instant gratification and restriction cycle. Meaning whenever they try to lose weight, they feel restricted, like they're not able to eat things they want. And what they want is what they want right now. And so to fix all of that, what we need to do is turn our sights to where we actually want to go most. So we want to delay gratification, and what I call flip the coin, is when we say we're restricting things, what we actually mean is we're saying no to things we want now because we want this other thing more. As an example, if you had to save for a down payment on the house, would you not stop behaviors of spending money in certain areas so that you can accumulate that money to put towards a down payment? Yes. Is that restrictive? Yes. But is it towards something you ultimately want? Yes. So is it restrictive? No. Because what you ultimately want, you're actually putting more energy towards. It's just in the context of food, it's not natural or normal, at least in our society currently, to go, you know what, I probably shouldn't have this thing because I'm trying to do this more often, which is why we have a problem with our weight in America, right? Right. Not learning nutrition basics. I would bet that 8 out of 10 people that fail consistently at dieting and losing weight would absolutely crush their goals if they just understood and learned the basics of nutrition. Like what calories are, macros, how much food you should eat, each of these sort of things that help you ultimately get you to your goal. At least the what about doing them. The how of how to meal plan, prep, and all that stuff takes a little bit extra. But the what, if you just learn the what, most people would get a lot farther than intermittent fasting, restricting carbohydrates, fasting in general, keto diet, sticking themselves with things, all of the things that are happening right now. If you're watching this, you're like, well, I don't know what macros are either, calories. This is all I have no idea. You're speaking gibberish to me. Down below in the description, there's going to be a little link to a video that's unlisted. You're going to watch that after you're done watching this, because I still got 3 more to go through, that'll teach you the basics of macros, okay, so that you can start at least getting the ball rolling in this. So to fix it, you learn them. Number 4 is a big one, and number 4 is trial and erroring your way through this thing. Now, I already gave you a good example of how not to do that. You could try to look up in Google macros, all that stuff, or you can just watch the dang video I have for you to explain it all in like 15 minutes. Okay, because what most people try to do, for whatever reason in their health, is they're like, I'm just going to figure it out on my own. And that's great. But like most people don't. Most people don't actually crush it, right? Because they don't know what they don't know. They don't understand the stuff, and they're just going to try to figure it out. But as somebody that's over their 30s, that has young kids, that's shuttling them from dance to school to bedtime to making 6 dinners to all these things, your time is incredibly limited. On top of working, on top of like meetings and sales calls and all these other things, you got a bunch of shit you got to do. The last thing you want to do is spend 45 minutes trying to Google and figure out what macros are, how to eat them, whatever, all that stuff. On top of the, I don't know, hundreds of other things you need to learn, and not actually do anything with it. So instead of doing that, is you want to exchange monies for coaching or a product or a service of some kind, right? If you don't understand any of this stuff, investing in a coach would be like a super smart thing to do. Because let's say it takes you like 200 hours to figure this stuff out on your own. Trial and erroring it, looking things up, not being able to pay fully attention because you got kids running around, digging in to see, well, this person said that avocados are good and this one says it's bad. Dissecting all of that. And let's say you make even 40 bucks an hour. At 200 hours, if it took you a year to figure it out, it'd be 4 hours every single week. And at $40 an hour, this is $8,000. What if I could teach you all of this stuff while you're actually losing the weight in less time for less cost? That might be something. That's what you call a good investment. Just something to consider. So hiring somebody would be a really smart move. Now, if you're like, Chris, I ain't got that kind of coin, and I've got time. Hell yeah, run the time. Do it. No one should stop you. But if you don't have time, and you have 30, 40, 50 pounds to lose, and it's adding up year after year after year, what are you doing? Not to mention how much money you're investing in the habits that are leading you to gain weight. We're not even factoring that money into it. If we do, it gets scary. I've done it. Number 4 is, instead of trial and erroring it, hiring somebody. And if you're somebody who wants to get some coaching, down below is a link. You can click that, fill out a breakthrough call, see if we can help you out, just like we did all these people and everybody that's on my website. Number 5 is not lifting heavy enough. I can't tell you how many times I go to the gym and see somebody with 10-pound dumbbells doing side raises, doing curls, doing shoulder presses, doing rows and kickbacks and rear delt fly, like with the same 10 pounds. Like scientifically, physiologically, blah, blah, blah. You can't do that with it being challenging the whole time. So you have to lift weights that are challenging to where you sound like a frickin' cannon. If it's like calls for like 8 to 12 reps and you do 8 with 10, 10, 10, 10. No, you didn't. It's not hard enough. I guarantee it. I put everything I know into it. That you're not lifting heavy enough. That it's not as challenging as it should be. Because your sets and reps shouldn't look pretty. It should be like 10 pounds of 12 reps, 10 pounds at 11, 10 pounds at 9, 8 pounds at 12. It should be going down if you're lifting till failure, till you can't lift the damn thing anymore. That would just make sense, right? So you got to lift heavy, and you got to make it challenging. And heavy is relative. Heavy to me, and heavy to you, and heavy to my 6-year-old, and heavy to the world-class powerlifter are all different. But heavy is relative, so make it challenging. Okay, and then the last one, the biggest one, or one of the biggest ones, is making enemies of certain foods. There are some foods that people just love to hate, like carbohydrates, like rice, like potatoes, like bananas, like whey protein, like dairy. And the reality is there's nothing bad or good about anything in general. Because let's ask a keto, a carnivore, me, a dietitian, a nutritionist somewhere, and a pescatarian if chocolate's good. And you'll go like, well, the pescatarian would be like, well, kind, I guess. Carnivore would be like, no, I can't have chocolate. The vegan would be like, yeah, you can have chocolate if it's non-dairy. And then a vegetarian would go, well, I'm ovo-lacto, so I can have chocolate because I'm lacto. And then you go to the dietitian and be like, well, I work with people with diabetes, and if it has high sugar in it, then it's not good. And we're like, okay, well, it's so confusing. So when it comes to good and bad foods, there is no such thing. Good foods and bad foods require context. I'll give you an example. A couple weeks ago, like 5 weeks ago, I was trying to build muscle, right? I was trying to get bigger. And in doing so, I had to eat 3,000 calories per day. To eat 3,000 calories is hard, right? It's a ton of food. It's a ton of food. So for me to get there, I would eat candy bars to help me get there. So I can eat the calories without the volume. I can get a lot of calories in a little bitty space. But right now I'm trying to lose fat, and I'm eating like 1,500 calories per day. In order for me to eat 1,500, if I spent 500 calories on a candy bar, is that a good idea? No, it's a dumb idea. Could I? I'm probably not. That'd probably be dumb. Would it get my results worse if I did? No, it'd just make me hungry because I'm eating a little bit of food with a lot of calories. It'd be much smarter to eat foods with a lot of space, a little bit of calories, like chicken breast, like some rices, like potatoes, like lettuce, like celery, like those things. Not fatty steak and bread and pasta and stuff. Does that make pasta and bread bad? No, it just right now it's not going to help me. So a good working definition of what's healthy or good foods or whatever you want to call it is, does this food getting me closer or farther from my goals? If it's getting me farther from my goals, it's probably not the smartest choice. It's probably not a good idea. Does that make it bad? No. Just means it's not as good. Make sense? So hopefully, if you're at this point in the video, that you found something valuable here, that you learned something, okay? And if you're somebody who wants the macro guide, all you do is click the description down below. It'll be below the little link where it says breakthrough form. Click that video and watch it. Okay, a bunch of good stuff in there. And if you're somebody who wants some coaching, who needs some additional help, who's like, I see this, but I don't know how to really put all of this stuff into play, then you fill out that breakthrough form, or you and I will have a conversation, see where you're at, see what your goals are, what you want to accomplish, and see if the process that I run here can actually help you get the goals that you want. If it does, fabulous. If it doesn't, that's fine too. I'll point you in the right direction. Otherwise, have a friggin' awesome day, kick some butt. Make sure you like and subscribe for more videos like this, where I teach working parents how to balance life, family, and fitness goals without sacrificing time or energy from any of those places. And have a friggin' awesome day. Talk to you soon. Bye.